Welcome in, YouTube, to part 9 of Morrighan Initari's adventures through, I was gonna say Stormblood, through Endwalker. I apologize for the start of this video. There's probably a little bit of weirdness because it's about 11 minutes of a stream where I was having a lot of dropped frames. So stick it out through that, please. The remainder of the video was recorded separately and I have spliced them together to get uploaded to YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below and let me know what you're thinking of these videos and how you're enjoying them, and that you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/CalebGames here, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays starting between 9 and 10 a.m. Pacific time. We got maybe 2 more 14 videos of the main story left, so look forward to them. I'll see you in a few seconds, YouTube. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand and wish that I did not. What fools were we? Well, that's fair. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. Okay. Let's go back to Meteion. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? No. I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Morrighan. Meteion. Damn it. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island, to see if there might be a path leading off of it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone onto a potential platform to judge its integrity, but it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Loporrits to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Meteion told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key. But I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. Oh fuck, the drop frames are still here. So what you're saying is we've no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this land, perhaps it is not Meteion's, but the dragons that holds us here. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all. Meaning there is no way for the dragons, or anyone here on this island, to advance. A sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Meteion meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. Twas Ultima Thule's architect, Meteion herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of a despair far more potent than others. Potent enough, mayhap, to dictate the course for others, and thus their domain to will. I don't know. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen. Their tone and timbre alone threatened to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. Then I shall guide thee. All in, they call him in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what have we to lose? Let's get going. Alright, well, after this part, what does All In have for us?
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
Aye, our pride is crushed and our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled, and the heavens offer no comfort. There is nothing left for our kind. Our long lives a curse as we await the end. Still as stone, we shall become.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our kin on another star? And yet, upon thee I do smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home?
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
It mattereth not whither we fly. Ever will a sanguine ocean await us. Ever will retribution's wheel turn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. I renounce conflict, exile myself from the other, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, We will not let you stop us.
Honestly, they should give the Dragoon that pose.
Estinian!
Stay back.
We tire of war. We tire of turmoil. Dignity tarnished. Crimson stained. Our misery, our shame, too much to bear. Release us from war, from life.
I see. Theirs is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
And with that, he is gone.
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind. He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
You're right. Let us continue on with much resolve. Look there! The wind! This is Estinian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. A powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The scions should arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remained trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war, yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting, Alphino, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alize is right. We must press on, for their sake. I cannot find her voice anymore. I cannot even find, like, my attempt at her voice anymore. Roads paved. Sacrifice. As Y'shtola and Alice said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. 'Twould be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully lest we lose our footing in the sand. Were it not for the violet crystals embedded in its surface, it would appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely. So we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Meteion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. Ow. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Forgive me. I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected, when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intentions. Aya, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kaf Kuj. Yes, Kaf Kuj of the Aya. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as this space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. Oh, no, stop. I gather your response to my presence is positive then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask you. Like yourselves, we Aya are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, and touch and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? Ah, my apologies. I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people. which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why? To bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would prove useful. Very well. To ensure a efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Aya, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer a question is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Aya wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly. Not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Okay. No, don't return to old Charlian. Stop that. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If, in our idleness, we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. Allow me to cast my thoughts to you. You cast your thoughts toward the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. You wish to speak? Very well. Pray, a moment if you would. Okay, let's go tune to the Aetheryte. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment. I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? Ah! The strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? I see. If they failed to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not. There are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. And now we have Paladin of Morrighan. Equip the gear, close that up nice and tidy, and switch over to Gun. Our health just jumped like 40k. Oh, I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Aya have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce you to Lalak, Dudek, and Nahnedg. It has been too long, Kofkuj. I dare say Satyr 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed. Until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kofkuj, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form? Bloop! Ah, yes, so long has it been, it had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. They're like a group of old people. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nedge. The archives have long been frozen. Lest we forget ourselves to further dolor, surely you recall that much? Ah, of course. Food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right! We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. We have a chance to learn something that I see no reason to decline. Excellent! If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. No, stop trying to return to old Charlian. Oh, it's literally like 20 feet away. Might be. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. This isn't creepy at all. Let's all just stand in various... Oh boy. Oh boy. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. You brace yourself again, but nothing seems to happen. Just as I had suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the Aya's homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. Now, one cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Almirant. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is of the memories of the dead with whom we deal. There. So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we cannot absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Well, we eat. Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ea yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believed that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? No. Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. I really thought it was going to be no. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, we would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Allegia. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Ere we join the Ea, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Morrighan, Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Oriange, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Allegia. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. Ba-dum, ba-dum, do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, I can't fly yet, that's right. I'm never going to forget that. Or remember that. I'm always going to forget that I can't fly. Alright, Oriange, what's up? Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention? As we have established here in Ultima Thule, these denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days, yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? I don't know. Meteion has taken their hearts unto herself, made contact with them while they still lived. She's taken their hearts unto herself. I'm inclined to agree. If Meteion can take the emotions of others as her own, I dare say she would be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them while they still lived, the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteion perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own, a heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an Entelechy. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteion did unleash Dynamis, and ushered the dragons and the Ea unto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already in ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? why do you tell us this now? Never again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades in bringing thee into my confidence. I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go to join our comrades. That little shit is planning to sacrifice himself. Let us be off too, to Elegia. We're gonna teleport to the abode of the Aya, because that'll cut down on time. It seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then? We shall.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated.
Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age.
That's so sad.
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it.
Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir.
Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators.
Damn.
Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture.
Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish.
If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss.
It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
That's absolutely what she's...
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension.
I was wrong.
And that,
She's not.
I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all.
But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Try as you might. It will never be enough.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
All right. I will keep my promise then and not invoke the magic.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Morrighan.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
This was so intense on my first playthrough. Y'shtola's my favorite Archon, and she just told us there may be a way to bring me back, but you mustn't do it. I was just like, what? What? No! We already knew it was going to happen to Urianger because he told us to not redo it, or not stop him. Look, there's Cocoon in the background again.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Did y'all just now look up?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Etheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Well, we've gone to the moon. Now we must go to the dead sun. And that was the last level 89 quest. Everything from here on out grants no XP. Are you all ready to continue on? That was not Graha's voice. Then let us make for where that light shone. Ishtola and Urianger have opened the way for us. Do 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 do. Yes, I can feel it. The ether emanating from the arcane pattern. This is a portal, and no mistake. Let us see where it leads. Portal of Wisdom, alright. I'm not sure this is the wisest choice, but hey, what do we have to lose, right? Let me bring out my chocobo. Because why not? Let's wait at the portal again. Or at the thing again. The music is so good! It started out as like a static thing, but each time our friends have sacrificed themselves, it's gotten just a little bit clearer. And I fucking love it. Amazing! Yet another civilization. Attacked as soon as you arrived. Not the most welcoming of places, is it? We must try to find denizens who are amenable to conversation. We should also get the lay of the land, see how far we can go. I'll help Alfino with that. In the meantime, you and Graha can search for friendlier folk. Apart from hostile beings, take care with your footing. I mislike the look of this terrain. Not knowing what the locals are like, you'd best take care of yourselves. We'll find you once we've finished exploring. I expect the twins will seek the outermost bounds of the isle, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encountered, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let us avoid them and look for others that appear more approachable. Okay. We'll ignore the... Oh, shit, we just gotta go right here. Oh, do I have to do, like, the whole look-through thing? You see not but patrolling machines in the area, they do not seem inclined to non-violence. Okay. Ba-dum, 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 da-da-da-da. Hello, 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 hello. Bleep, bloop. One of them said bleep, bloop. Oh, hey, there's an ether current right over there. No, you don't. I'm gonna run to base. You can't get me. I'm in base. Look, Morrigan. The machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Begging your pardon, but we are searching for the denizens of this star. Bzzzt. Unknown life forms detected. Assigning generic label. Interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet Blip Bloop. The planet... what? Could you please repeat that? It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It may be translated into yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. We are preparing for war. As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you will be taken into custody and or terminated. Not a little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. I will see what else I can learn from this fellow if you could try speaking with the others. Sure. Bleep bloop. Autonomous weapon deployment complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munitions level satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment normal. Awaiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. Bzzzt. Measuring combat capability. Result negligible. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Greetings, traveler. We are the Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we must venture forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the homeworld of the beings whose strength was said to be without parallel, the dragons. Yet though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceeded the gains. Damn. Bzzzt. Greetings, traveler. When venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands and indiscriminately attack all non-Omicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our resources, or to our forces, as the foremost of the 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. Okay. Well, Raha, what have you discovered? You learned a few things. So did I. Ere we share our findings, however, I believe it best to step outside the outpost. Come with me. Ah, there you are. We've finished surveying the area. This will come as no surprise, but there was no way forward. There were portals like the one we used to get here, but those that worked only sent us to isolated isles. Then as before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. What of yourselves? Did you find anyone to speak with? Dun, dun, dun. So the Omicrons seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following their victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but their leader has yet to issue new commands, and so they wait. In such a place, who could it be that fit Urianger's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Urianger said this? During our investigation, before we had joined you in Allegia. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't he just say it to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragons in Ea longed for death, the Omicrons longed for conflict. As much as that may lead to destruction, it must be considered a distant desire. In order to find the source of the dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out their leader, this Sir. According to M032, the first Omicron with whom we spoke, there was a console by which we might communicate with it. M032 also added that it would be a pointless exercise, but that in itself, I believe is worth investigating. What say you? Whatever you say, Raha. Na 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 na. So the console we seek lies to the far side of this aisle. Given the nature of the ground, the route may not be entirely direct as it seems. Let us all watch our step as we make our way. You got it, buddy. Come on. Greetings, sir. Can you hear me? Say something if you can. Awaken. Activate. Password. Well, I tried. This appears to be the console, but it seems unresponsive. Would you care to take a look at it? No, stop talking to Alice. Come on, Morrighan. You try touching, smacking, and attuning with the console, but there is no response. No luck, I see. There must be a way to activate it. There must. You sure about that? You sure about that?
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough, but if we can't even activate it...
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. The significance of these details may be lost on you now, but they lead me to believe this was the home world of Omega.
That's fair.
I speak of the ancient weapon, the one which the Alliance unleashed upon Shinru. I will spare you the long story, but according to the records I read in the future, it possessed a single weakness: lightning.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic?
Absolutely, Graha. Let's do it. Have at you. Actually, that was a liquid line. Have at you,
Very
Snake.
well. Here I go.
It worked!
Opening connection to Communications Module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Signal 1 now online. As a primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you! Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting quick.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
This thing just doesn't want to talk.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
All right. Let us focus our search on the outpost. Alize and I will try speaking with the Omicrons this time in the hopes we might learn something new. Meanwhile, perhaps you and Graha could observe them from a distance. These beings are systematic and routine by nature. If there are any that aren't, it shouldn't be too difficult to spot them. If there are no questions, then let us begin at once. Okay. As we came this way, I believe I spied a promising vantage point. Follow me. Sure, Raha. Normally it's my sister who would follow you anywhere, but in this case, I guess I will have to do. Search base Omicron for errant Omicrons. Okay. From Omicrons that look like they're out of order. Blip bloop. That one wanders seamlessly as if they're lacking an objective. That one there. Yes, I quite agree. An Omicron wandering aimlessly. Where? Aha! I see it! It's left the base. Let's follow it. "139 yalms to the northeast." I get a very strong vibe that it's gonna be... It's right there. It's not here, but it definitely came this way. It must have used the portal. Time to go through and see what we find. I often make Graha sound like Alfino, I'm realizing. And I've noticed it a lot when I have conversations with both of them in it. You know, so I do apologize for that. But there is only so much that I am actually able to do. I'm not a voice actor. Bzzt. What is your query? Here he comes just run. Ah, you found it. What are you doing here? I am looking at the tree. Quite an unusual specimen. What is the device attached to it? Oh. I don't think that was supposed to be a robot. Whoops. The tree is a sample collected from another star. As it cannot survive in our own environment, however, it requires life support. That is the function of the device. To go to such lengths to sustain it, is there something special about this tree? Being foreign matter, protocol requires that we study it. As this task has been completed, the specimen may be discarded. However, when I behold the tree, I am made to feel as though there is a problem. In order to become strong, we have continued to enhance ourselves. Like we did countless others, we conquered the star whence this tree came. It is the last remnant of a dead world, and there is nothing towards which it may aspire. Yet it grows, extends its branches, sprouts leaves, produces seeds. Why does it seek to continue? Why was it made to behave in such a way, and to what end? I do not understand. I see. Out of curiosity, does this pertain to your duty? No, it does not. My apologies. I shall return to my designated post and assume a state of combat readiness. So, it was acting outside of orders. Perhaps it is simply a malfunctioning Omicron. These are by no means uncommon. But it may also be a unit possessed of the ability to make decisions, one not unlike Sir. I believe this bears further investigation. To endeavor to live, even if we must depend on forces beyond our control. Tell me, Morrighan, one day, when this adventure becomes a part of your epic, do you think I will be mentioned in it? You're not here so you can be in a story. Forgive me. Let there be no doubt that fame and glory could not be further from my mind. And yet I would be lying if I said that I don't relish the thought of my name being spoken in the same breath as yours. Well, we had best get on with our task. Tracking down Sir and understanding the nature of the emotion which bars our way. Right. Well, Raha, what do you got for me? We should return to the outpost for now. The others will wish to hear about the errant Omicron. No, come on. No, come on. Raha says you found a suspicious Omicron. That's good, because the units here were of no help. They all had the same thing to say about the extended operations unit, that there's no way to arrange a direct meeting. Still, that served to prove that it's business as usual at the outpost. But enough about us. Tell me you learned something more useful. Well, kinda. Well... An Omicron trying to make sense of the meaning of life. None of the others were even a fraction as philosophical. This unit may well be in a position of leadership, perhaps even one of those that comprise Sir. As we know, the Omicrons invade other stars and enhance themselves using the spoils of conquest. With the technology at their disposal, they should be able to alter their bodies, be it in part or in whole. Setting aside the question of motive, if Sir, for example, wished to have an ordinary Omicron's body, I see no reason why it would not be possible. The problem is how to go about ascertaining if that's what happened. When I attempted to probe further, it promptly ended the conversation. If it is indeed Sir, I doubt it would willingly reveal its true identity. I have an idea. We use lightning on the console again, but we make it stronger, much stronger. At that moment, should the unit exhibit a reaction, that could suggest that it has a connection to Sir. An inspired idea. I dare say it is worth a try. I had a feeling you'd be on board. This time you must allow me to do the honors. I will stand guard in case your incantation draws sentries to the scene. For my part, then, I will approach our suspect and divert its attention, during which time, Morrighan, I want you to observe it closely for anomalous shit. I should mention that, shortly before you returned, an Omicron appeared from the same direction. Rather than entering the outpost, however, it headed off towards the console. At first I assumed it was a unit on patrol, but perhaps it was not. That could only be our errant Omicron. We must seek it out and begin our operation at once. Alright, Alphino and I will stand by at the console, and when it's time, I'll unleash a veritable storm. Alright. Do 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 do. This will work, I'm sure of it. After all, our comrades are watching over us. Come, my friend, let us find this doubt-plagued Omicron. You are the one that was observing the tree, are you not? Full glad am I to find you again. I have a question for you, you see, about the device which sustains the tree. Provided it does not necessitate the disclosure of restricted information. Very well. Raha has begun distracting the Omicron. Soon, Alice will strike the console with lightning. Observe M017 closely for anomalous behavior after Alice has cast her spell. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target an area and confirm it with right trigger or A. Looks like they're ready to go. Ha! Anomaly. I found the anomaly. There! You've activated my trap card. An anomaly, you say? Performing diagnostic. Error confirmed. My connection to Central Command is suffering from intermittent failures. I must leave at once and present myself for maintenance at the nearest facility. You will excuse me. What you need, my friend, isn't maintenance. It is to confront the truth. While we spoke, our comrades struck the console used to communicate with Sir. That is the cause of your anomaly. You are connected to Sir, aren't you? Affirmative. To what end you sought to assert this fact, I do not know. But before we speak further, we must move away from the other units. I do not wish for them to know my true identity. Very well. Our friends are at the console. Let us head there.
As you have surmised, I am part of the shared intelligence of Stigma 1. It was my charge to determine the optimal path to achieving our prime function. This body had been abandoned by its former owner and lay unused. I took it and abandoned my own, and with it, my duty.
May we ask why you did this? From what we gather, it seems to be a personal matter.
Our kind did not always look as we do now. Long ago, we possessed frail and feeble bodies. Beleaguered by stronger races, our ancestors took to augmenting their flesh in order to defend themselves. What began with limited parts eventually spread to the whole body, and at last, a means was discovered to convert the mind into data, rendering even the brain obsolete. Such complete mechanical beings were called the Omicrons, and by their might, we came to reign supreme over the star. But even then, we did not feel secure, for we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us. Rather than risk becoming the subjugated, we chose to become the subjugator. We began our conquest of the stars, that we might acquire the resources and knowledge we needed to reign supreme. We were successful in that endeavor. So powerful did we become, we could lay low even the mighty dragons. But then something unexpected happened. I began experiencing an error. I could no longer determine an optimal path.
You were malfunctioning.
I performed numerous full system scans, each time finding no issues. Yet the error persisted. It was then that I speculated. What could happen if we grew so powerful as to have no equal? To become stronger was essential to our existence. Our every action has been in service to this objective. But if nothing lies beyond this, can it be truly said that it was essential? Have we been engaging only in wanton destruction?
You could find no threat to justify your purpose.
The Omicrons will never leave this star. They will stand by until their reserves of energy is spent, for I have no path to offer them. None.
It is not our place to pass judgment on the deeds of the Omicrons. But surely, this does not have to spell the end of your people. With your power and knowledge, the possibilities are endless. Why not seek out a new purpose?
That is impossible. In the beginning, we had a higher purpose than our pursuit of power. But we lost sight of it when we so irrevocably altered our fundamental forms. When we cast aside our flesh, so too did we cast aside all that defined us. Nothing remains of who we once were. I have no aspirations. No longer can I dream. The vital spark is lost. Lost amidst circuitry, and code, and commands.
I believe I know how to overcome this despair. The words are ready in my mind, but ere I speak them...
What are you doing, Raha?
I want you to make me a promise. Be it across time or space, our promises have always connected us. And so I ask that you indulge me once more, that this won't be the end.
You say it, I'll do it.
Is that so? In that case, I won't hold back. First, I want to visit Ishgard with you. Properly. We scarcely had time to look around last time. I should like it very much if you could show me the sights. Next,
the look on their
you
faces.
must regale me with your greatest adventures, in the places where you lived them, if possible. I may have read about all your deeds, but there is no substitute for a first-hand account. And last but not least, a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. We'll travel the lands, cross the seas, and take to the skies upon the eternal wind, and it will be marvelous. It will.
Fist bump.
If you would humor me a moment. When we awaken each morning, how can we prove that we're the same individual who retired the night before? Through the remembrance of past events, we might say. We have our memories, yet there are times when we forget or recall incorrectly. What of our bodies, then? It is the same one, we might say, yet technically speaking, as living beings, our bodies are constantly changing. It will never be as it was at an earlier point in time. Our souls are no more immutable. On our star, people are known to inherit the souls of others, yet they are decidedly different beings. For my part, I've subjected my totality to much and more. I've made my body into an extension of a tower, blended my soul and memories with those of another self. And each time I would ask myself, what is it that makes me, me?
Were you able to determine an answer?
No. But that doesn't mean I'm confused. It simply means I'm the same as everyone else. So I posit this. Who we were need not prescribe what we now hold in our hearts. Whatever came before, what matters most is the present. For me, that is being here with my friends, full proud of how much we've grown together. So I urge you to not give up. Heed your heart's desire and hope that the future you long for shall be realized.
I cannot. We cannot. We cannot understand desire, nor comprehend hope. We do not know how to create such things.
We are not unalike, you and I. I too have struggled to find the courage to express and embrace my wants. If you like, I will tell you a tale. A tale of a world on the brink. Of a people who never gave up on the future. Of a man who realized his grandest dreams and then awakened to a grander reality.
Good job, bro, huh? We knew this had to happen. And just like that, he's gone again. Crystal pathway appears before us.
You idiot! Just once, stay with us to the end.
It hurts. They all live so easily, as if it's nothing. How do they think we feel? The next time we meet them, I'll give him such a flick. And that'll be just to start. Thank you, YouTube, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, despite the technical difficulties at the start, because this, like I say in the intro, is a combination of like 11 minutes of a stream where I was having horrible trouble with dropped frames, and the rest I recorded separately. But thank you for sticking it out. If you did till the end, I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below and let me know what you're thinking of these videos. We got maybe 2 videos left before we're done with all of 14 having either been streamed or recorded, at least story-wise, for my YouTube channel. So thanks for sticking out this to the end, and I can't wait for Dawn Trail in a few months. Look forward to those last couple videos. Have a good one, YouTube, and I'll see you later.